Hi, this is M from Team Postmortem Stardust here with our prototype for a shooting Quazar Dragon build. If you don't know what that is, it's a level 12 Synchro that can attack at least twice per turn, can negate shit, and brings out Shooting Star when it leaves the field. Now, seeing this, we went, hey, we should build that. And
makes use of hyper librarians. And
it makes use of Tech Genus Hyper Librarian, Formula Synchron.
For excellent draw power.
Yeah. What we've got here is based off of the standard Plant Monarch build, with the exception of a little bit extra. The first things I'm going to point out are 3 Cyber Valley, 3 Tuningware, and 3 Junk Synchron. These are here as part of the engine together with machine duplication. Cyber Valley allowing you to draw into more cards. Junk Synchron plus Tuningware and machine dupe allows you to set up the combo where you draw very many cards, essentially costing you nothing and in fact profiting. We've got 3 Effect Veilers, which we may bump down to 2, since this deck's still in the experimental phase and we're not sure.
Effect Veiler just kind of stops everything, OTKs, etc.
If you've ever found yourself in a position where you're being shut down by SAMs, you've wanted an Effect Veiler. Battle Fader, 1 because it stops OTKs, and 2 because it can be used to help bring out Formula Synchron. Treeborn Frog, really at the heart of any deck like this. Any level 1 that you can repeatedly bring back is good.
Only running 3 traps, so.
Easy enough. Spore and Glow Up Ball, both here because they're the obvious good level 1 plant tuners, which are easily made use of here. Tune Lone Fire Blossoms, you'd be a fool not to run them in plants.
We're proxying them, so if you take a look at
we've got one.
If you look at M's trade binder, he'll be looking for some of those.
Yeah, which should be good. Dandelion together with Lone Fire are obvious for plants. You can use them for Spores effect. You can use them to get out necessary plants, whatever you need. Sangan's in here basically as some generic search. I've run him in pretty much every single deck I've built, and it's never steered me wrong. And lastly, a Titanial, Princess of Camellias, for some really fast, easy power.
Generic plant beat stick.
Generic plant beat stick, easily played with Lone Fire or Monster Reborn, and really can just be abused to hell in this build.
Okay,
turning now to the spells. As I mentioned earlier, the 3 machine duplications for spamming Tuningware or Cyber Valley, thinning the deck immensely. We've got 2 Forbidden Lances, which we're proxying for now, and those really are things that you want to run these days. Weaken an opponent's monster or protect your own from that dark hole. Either way, you're plussing from it. 2 enemy controllers.
Generic with Frog.
Yep. They allow you to turn Treeborn Frog into any opponent's monster and get it back, or abuse a Dandelion token, get a search from Sangan. Lots of things you can do with that. 2 Mystical Space Typhoon, obvious. You want those pesky spells and traps out of your way. 2 Pot of Avarice, because
go through monsters like crazy in this deck.
We've run out of monsters in this deck before, and it's not good.
And it's nice drop out.
Monster Reborn, because, well, let's face it, who hasn't wanted to bring back that powerful monster from the graveyard to punch your opponent's face in?
And it works well with Lybrarian and stuff.
Giant Trunade and Dark Hole, really to help clear the way for any of your attacking monsters.
Staples.
1 for 1 is here to get out any of the, let's see, 3, 6, 9, 11, 12, 13, maybe with Battle Faders, 15 level 1 monsters.
You're going to be consistently getting out Formula Synchron with this deck.
Yep. And lastly, we have 3 Trap Stuns, the only traps in here, and that's solely because they are a chainable way to make it all clear for your monsters for the turn. You don't get things like Solemn Warning getting in the way of you making your big moves, which could really be screwed over by traps.
Basically, you're going to bring out Treeborn Frog, but your opponent has a lot of face downs. You trap stun, you lose your trap stun, then you bring back Treeborn and they can't do anything in response that turn unless they have Book or whatever.
Basically, all of the traps and quick play spells in this deck are chainable to work with Treeborn. The deck works really well because everything combos together. Turning to the extra deck, we've got 3 Formula Synchron, which is obvious for a build like this. 3 Hyper Librarian, hoping to get those soon, hint hint. It's a no-brainer because this deck synchro summons so quickly that you're plussing every single time you do it. Black Rose Dragon.
Clear for the field, and there are plants, so...
You've got your Stardust, your Thought Ruler, and your Red Dragon, which are just obvious level 8 synchros. You've got your Mistworm.
We don't have
Trishula.
Trish,
But in our experience, Mistworm works just fine, so we're sticking with it for now.
people tend to negate Trish more than Mistworm. It scares them more.
Shooting Star Dragon can either be brought out the conventional way or through the effect of shooting Quazar Dragon if it leaves the field, so it's a no-brainer in here.
Amazing beat stick.
Red Nova is a little bit harder to play, but easy enough to get out, and with the number of tuners in this deck, you're easily looking at something huge, so it's a good idea to run. And finally, the heart of the deck in the form of 2 shooting Quazar Dragons.
Not out here, but
No.
it'll be out probably by the end of the year.
Yeah, it's a Master Guide promo. The last Master Guide promos got out pretty quickly, so we're thinking these will too.
We're a little early on this. For now, we're going to run the TG... What was it?
Tech Genus Halberd Cannon, TG Halberd Cannon.
Yeah, that'll work.
It
in the deck.
combos well with Hyper Librarian, and it negates summons instead of effects, which shuts down things like 6 Sams and other meta decks.
Since we're still testing, we don't have a side deck at this point, but once it gets made, we'll put it down in the description. And also a link to our trade binders will be in the description.
And if you have any suggestions as to ways we might be able to improve the deck, we are certainly open to them.
Don't just friggin' comment and say, this card's better than this card. Tell us why.
Yeah, that's one of our biggest pet peeves. If you want us to run something, you had better be able to justify it.
Okay. Yeah, so that's about it. Thank you. PMS out.